Don't count your problems, count your blessings. This is street wisdom. Truth over noise.
Don't count your problems, count your blessings. We dropping jewels in these hard life sessions. Truth in your ear, hope for your pain. Street wisdom kids running through the vein. Real talk only, we don't do guessing. Lessons from the block to your spirit confessing. Don't count your problems, count your blessings. Every scar's proof that you still progressing. From the stoop to the studio, mic to the pavement. Wisdom in the raw, no filter, no fake hits. Brooklyn to the Bronx where the soul still speaks. We preach to the pain and uplift the weak. You lost a few battles, that's part of the climb. But diamonds get formed in the pressure of time. We ain't here to flex, we here to reflect. Put faith in the field where the world show neglect. Truth in the cipher, hope in the loop. God in the bars and the word in the booth. Turn trials to tapes and the hurt to a hymn. Every loss got a light when you look from within. Don't count your problems, count your blessings. We in the trenches, but we still confessing. Faith in the fight and hope in the lesson. Street Wisdom Podcast, this the true direction.
What's up with it? It's going down. It's Street Wisdom Talk to Me and I Talk Back. Fellowship Talk Part 2. Mr.Wallin, what's happening with it? It's going down.
What's going on, Mr. Church Music?
Oh man, I'm just back at it. You know, we just moving and motivated on this side of the mountain. We just got a lot of beautiful response off Fellowship Talk with Mr. Wallin. So man, I felt it was important that we go in and do it all the way live with Part 2. You know what I'm talking about? Are you in agreement with that?
Oh, total agreement, man, in the spirit.
Oh man, praise ye the Lord to all the beautiful people right here listening. You could have been anywhere across the world, but you're right here with us right now. And we're just going to dive into it and get into it. There's just so much going on. I mean, it is just madness all across the world. I like to talk about the specifics with Governor Newsom with his trolling behavior with Big Bully 47. And he's actually getting a taste of his own medicine. You want to weigh in with, Governor Newsom. He's just not the best governor for LA, but I like what he's doing, putting pressure. And let me be brief. He did share with the people, you guys better pay attention to what's going on, because he's been receiving 2028 mega hats. And he said that these hats came from particular people with power, and these people are not playing around. What's your thoughts?
Well, there's just a lot of stuff going on, especially with that gerrymandering, and the dirty politics and the foolishness that these professional politicians are doing, and California is one of those states that's responding back, that's trying to fight back and just restore some kind of decency and order. It's just a lot of BS going on, to be honest with you.
Then when you say gerrymandering, for those that are listening, can you share who that is and what's the nature of his participation?
So gerrymandering is when they redistrict the communities in order to sway the votes to be able to get either more Republicans in there. They redesign it, the boundary lines in order to either make it more favorable to a particular party. In this case, it's the Republicans. So it's actually going on in Texas, but California and other states around the country are responding to that, particularly California, in which they said that they're going to go ahead and redistrict their state in order to balance out the Republicans. So basically, what they're trying to do is they want to get more Republican representation and make it more easier for them to get elected.
Right.
In these districts, so it'll be more Republicans in there, and so I like what he's doing. I mean, somebody, at some point, somebody has to has to respond to the, the bullying of the, Donald Trump, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, and they need to move quickly because this guy is out of control. He's just trying to wipe away museum history, saying that it has something to do with slavery. But more specifically, because based on the Word of God and how things are in the Book of God, he's actually deploying over 5,000 National Guards to the state of Washington. What does that look like to you? Is that an example that the world should pay attention to, where he's utilizing National Guard to go into hoods, and his voice of concern is that he wants to regulate crime and get the city back in order, but that looks scary.
Yeah, that one could go either way though, because I mean, truth be told, man, there's some blacks that are actually happy about the restoration of order in the DC area, but on the flip side, there is a overreach of government authority and dictator type moves on behalf of the president. And then we also got to remember too that the president is a real estate guy. That DC is prime real estate. So, this might be just another form of gentrification in order to get in there, clean it up. Probably people have already been, real estate investors have already been buying a lot of the land in black areas, particularly Atlanta. And DC is a black city, a chocolate city, and so there's probably some other factors involved in just restoring order as far as the real estate of the DC area. And but like I said, there's some blacks in that area and in that community that are happy that there's a restoration of order, because if we look at the, even though crime might be down in that area, there's still a lot of crime in that area. And so, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I Donald Trump he's trying to just do a president takeover. And outside of the process of obtaining great business opportunities with real estate, it also creates a message of intimidation. When you're seeing government officials and government officers and federal officers mobilizing through the city of Washington, specifically in black communities. And if that's the case, won't he send them over there to the great parts of Washington, D.C. to show equal barrier? But, and for us as black people, our first concern is this a martial law takedown? He's implicating martial law. He's showing the American people that he means business. And at the same time, will other states be copycats and take the lead of intimidation with federal enforcement within black communities? So for me, that looks, I don't know what to say. I just know that we definitely need to pay attention to what's really going on in the world. It's showing that he means business, but what is the end goal with federal enforcement in these cities are, trying to take down crime or whatever the case may be? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll tell you this, we've been fumbling the ball for too long. We have control of certain cities.
Hold on, sir. Now, when you say, Street Wisdom listeners, understand we have to be real. So please don't be afraid that we're coming from the heart. And in some cases, Black America, we are fumbling the ball. But it's not with an insult. is to educate and motivate. Go ahead, Mr. Wallin.
Yeah, so we are fumbling the ball in that we control certain cities, Atlanta, Baltimore, Philly, DC, Gary, Indiana. We once controlled Detroit. Heavy influence in places like Birmingham, and we're not taking full advantage of these opportunities. We're letting these cities just like, the exception is Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? The mayor who really cleaned up that city and actually made it into a mega city. His blueprint needs to be copied around the country. You know what I mean? DC has been in the hands of blacks for decades, man, and we have not taken advantage of those opportunities.
Now, when you say the blueprint of this mayor in Atlanta, we should be states should be implicating that. In what nature and what did he do for you to say that?
I can't recall his name, but offhand, but he's the one that is credited with the actual Atlanta boom. He brought in businesses, he brought in opportunities, and then Atlanta just began, he cleaned up the city, and it just flourished, and we're not taking advantage of these other cities that we control. I mean, when you control a city, man, that is something major. It's like whenever we've had blacks controlling cities, and like we said, there's been a legal attack on these with the corruptions and the bribes. Even though it goes on across the country. But man, they do highlight it when it's a black person in office controlling that particular territory. And so we need to do a better job, of creating those economic opportunities and taking full control and cleaning it up. The crime is going to exist, but it shouldn't be up in your face like it is in certain cities. Like DC is one. It's up in your face. You know what I'm saying? They got to take that stuff behind closed doors, man. It can't. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on that?
It's just corruption all over. But when we look at the scales of these cities, and based on the black history, we also supposed to look at the foundation of education, resources, and information. And I want to target in on when you said Atlanta as a good state. Atlanta needs help right now. I don't know if you have witnessed, it's all over the media, social media included, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, about the epidemic, over 20,000 cases in Fulton County of HIV. And if that's the case, Atlanta, we got to do better, because we have to talk about the buildup. What creates the situation with sexual perversion where we have an epidemic, over 20,000 cases of HIV and chronic STD diseases? Is it too much of the partying, the chronic drinking, hookah smoking, nightclubs, strip clubs? What is the situation where the people of Atlanta know that there's a crisis and there's no prevention, which means a chronic sickness within the sexual mentality, unsafe sex with multiple women, including men as well. And it's just an outbreak, and it is spread to several cities, Alabama included, Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana, Florida, and the list goes on. So when we look at all the predominant great foundation with these black cities, we're suffering in other areas where it's killing us based on economic value. We're still in a bind of trying to figure it out. We're still broke. We're still trying to get to the next level. There's no resources, and these diseases amongst everybody, including senior citizens that are experiencing chronic STDs and HIV. And so what do you have to say about that and the nature of that, and how can that be fixed?
Well, it's that has been a direct result of, in my opinion, the silence of the black church. The black church used to be the conscience, not just of black communities, but it was the conscience of the nation. And no longer are we the conscience, the moral conscience of our own cities, let alone the nation. And so we need to get back to the moral crisis that the black community is facing. Man, no marriage rates among blacks is in the toilet. Single parent households is just astronomical in comparison to other races. We need to get back to building the black families. But
when you say building black families, because let's think about it for those that are listening and tuning in. The fathers, we're being ridiculed. We're creating backlash. We want the experience of raising our children, but unfortunately, we have to be mindful. I remember my grandma always told me, be mindful of who you have children with. And I never really caught that. And I don't have children myself, but I've been a witness to great men like yourself and other people that I know that have beautiful children. But it is a crisis as well, based on the young lady doesn't want the man to see the child. They resent the child based on what the man looks like. And so the son or the daughter has a similarity. And are we really the downfalls of our own self-destruction within relationships in the black family? The black family is torn in every way, from the death of a mother or a father. They don't have things in order like a living trust. They're fighting over property and cars and money. And, I believe that the black family is just, we have to figure this out. For those that are listening across the world, we have to figure it out. A call to action. We have to figure it out. So you got to expound, Mr. Wallin, just a little more. Are we the fault of tearing up the black family, or are we just going to blame the society and the rules and how things are adjusted amongst the black family?
Well, to be honest with you, it's not just, we all know that the black American has been under severe attack since people came to these shores, and since they shipped us on these boats to these shores. And so through the music, through our ignorance of the media and how it's shaping the thinking of our people, to the just the lack of the black male taking dominance and leadership of the family. But without Jesus Christ, without having that moral,
hallelujah,
that moral guide, we're doomed to destruction. And so there's a lot of just promiscuity, going on, and just I think that the bigger issue, one of the bigger issues, that seems to be a lack of loyalty to anyone except oneself. And so, because you got to think, people know that they affected, and they just going out like, man, you're not gonna tell the person, or get them an option to make a conscious choice. They up here just infecting people, man.
And what the cold game about it is that women that are carriers of this chronic disease and this, they are telling men that they are HIV positive. And you niggas out there still want to engage and have sex with these women with a condom. Is thy heart right? Is thy heart is right with mine? And if so, give me your hand and get your shit right and try another option. These women they're verbally telling you, men, that they are sick, and you still want to participate and engage. And for the women, that have been hurt because you have found out that you've had a negligence encounter with a man that you thought loved you, and unfortunately he was doing other things off the record. And for those that are listening, it is truly unfair. If you are sick, whether you have a chronic disease or you have STD, trichomonas, urethroplasma, syphilis. And men, be mindful that with trichomonas and urethroplasma, there's no symptoms. And a lot of you guys are scared to go to the doctor, but my mother always told me, at least know where you at, okay? At least know where you at. So don't be selfish and don't have a savage mentality that you have been tested with something in a terrible nature and you want to victimize everybody else through your malice and your hurt. Please be mindful and let's have better options and choices, and let anybody know if you have challenges, whether you have herpes, give them the opportunity to know, because it's unfair if someone has to go through that and other people depend on them, which means their children or their husband or their mother or their mother-in-law. Street wisdom, talk to me and I'll talk back. We have to be informal and we have to educate to motivate. And it's very important. Please don't be selfish. And I'm totally in agreement with you, Mr. Wallin. It's just gotten out of control. Would you believe that to be true?
Yes, it's not too late, man. We need to just buckle down. We have to bring our resources together, our labor together, and we have to have our leadership in place in order to help guide the Black community. And then we have to connect to our other brothers and sisters, regardless of nationality and race, because at the end of the day, we know that Satan, he doesn't have a preference. He don't care if you're white or black. He doesn't care if you're a Latino or a Haitian. He doesn't care about any of that. At the end of the day, he just wants to take souls to hell. That's the honest to God truth.
He would like to seek, kill, and destroy the mighty man of God, the royal woman of glory. You better believe it. And for those that are listening under the sound of my voice with Mr. Wallin and myself, got to get closer to God and fall to your knees and seek God. Okay? No other way matters. Not your car, your Rolls Royce, your lip gloss, your wig front, your bank account. If God ain't in it, I can't be a part of it. And I got to keep it all the way true, not real, because the last message, I'd rather die a saved man than a real nigga. But that's another lesson. In closing, Mr. Watt, I just wanted to expound on this because I know your time is valuable. Chris Brown, musical genius, the downfalls of how things are done. $1,200 for a meet and greet with provocative poses, with things that are just not tasteful for those that are on the outside looking in, taking the panties off their fans, fans paying $1,200 to do this. But when they have a man that just wants $100 for a business plan, they're neglected, they're assassinated. You don't have nothing, get your own money. Where's the nature of what's positive? And based on the world with hardship, the filthy lucre of the dollar, is that where we're giving our money to? And I love Chris Brown dearly, but your choices just don't make sense, because you still have to be mindful that you are a father outside of an entertainer. And I hope to God that you love God and that you glorify God, but God always said things have to be decent and in order. Can you expound on that, Mr. Wallin, in closing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like I said, we need to get back to being, as the old Wallin saying goes, simple but tasteful. I think we have lost that aspect of just as human beings. We need to get back to being simple, tasteful, and courteous. I remember one wise man told me that courtesy and respect will open doors that nothing else will. And I got that from Mr. Church Music himself. He gave me those words of wisdom.
And you heard it first for real. Man, courtesy and
what's
respect.
wrong with people nowadays? Man, they got no class.
No class.
No, you know what I mean? What they used to say on the Fat Albert and the Gang, they like school on a Saturday. No class.
No class, man. You know what I'm talking about? No class at all. And we want to thank you, Mr. Wallin, because we love this fellowship talk with Mr. Wallin Part 2. It's official like a referee whistle. I am your favorite host from the West Coast. I am Church Music, Street Wisdom. Talk to me and I'll talk back. And this segment is brought to you by One World Mental Health. You are not alone. Okay, you are not alone. If you're going through something or a crisis, please utilize your in-state local numbers for crisis, emergency. And again, One World Mental Health coming soon, coming to a world near you. And again, thank you, Mr. Wallin. I am Church Music. Truth over noise, street wisdom. Talk to me and I'll talk back. Thank you for listening.